Aha.
Yay. Somewhat
Hello,
better.
how are
No need
you?
to unmute the speakers. Yes,
Oh, can you not hear me?
I couldn't, but now I can.
It's a good job I've not been telling you lots of secrets. How are you both?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. It
I've
was
got
another
people hanging
Friday.
off here.
How's the little one? How's the little noodle?
We've got a new dog.
Yeah,
She
noodles.
suddenly, from Monday, decided I'm a grown-up dog and I'm gonna walk like a normal dog and I'm gonna eat the food you gave me, just like
I know. I don't know. It's a miracle.
that. I think either it's because she doesn't have the clothes anymore because it's warm, but we sort of went out on Monday. She's just walking like a machine, even around here where she sort of likes to sniff. But it was amazing. It was like a magic wand. Now I know the treats are there, but you cannot bring it.
So, mission complete. Is that what we're saying?
All of a sudden, yeah. See,
The walking
she
is definitely
decided
the
to
mission
switch
complete.
switch on a button, or the growing up button, or whatever it was.
Good stuff. That makes me very happy.
And I'm gonna walk. That's fine.
That's brilliant. That really is absolutely brilliant. Yeah. How does that feel now, considering like where we were right at the beginning when you first got in contact with me?
So
Oh,
fantastic. It's actually joy to go out with it.
I know it's such a difference, if you just can walk around the neighborhood and the dog is coming with you. And
Oh,
she stops for a sniff at a tree or at a bin bag, but then we walk on and life is good.
Even when she meets Wolfie nowadays, they have a little and then we can actually walk away.
wow.
Reluctantly, but yeah, we can walk away.
Yeah, I mean, you're leaving a friend that she wants to play with. Yeah. Okay. So, talk to me. Have you been continuing the training with her? Where have you been? What's been happening with the
And doing
training?
the mat training, she gets absolutely ecstatic. Just I take the towel out, and she jumps up and down like that. We have to say, calm down before you can get off it. And then if we're giving her treats, then she sits and sometimes she gets bored and I'm just wonderful. But she
Okay.
Yeah, I think the difficulty is though she looks full of expectation towards us.
true.
It's hard to make her sort of relax and calm down there. She just sits there on what in her eyes must be like a magic carpet. Because when you sit on there, you get treats for nothing. So
Absolutely, and it should be a magic mat for her, a magic carpet for her, so that she's happy with that. So, wow, yeah, I'm really, really, really pleased. When did this kind of happen then? From this week or?
I think from Monday
Well,
onwards,
from
isn't it?
Monday onwards, it's just like when the weather turned nice and we
Okay.
didn't have our clothes anymore. Monday it was just like that.
Yeah, that makes something have something to do with it. Since
Yeah.
you can go out sort of naked without having a jacket, she's a lot
Yeah.
happier.
So she's just going out as a naked dog now then.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
the
the naked
harness,
cottage.
that's it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff. And is that because the weather changed that you've
Yeah.
taken the coat off?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, that's brilliant. That's
Little
really, really good.
toxic madam. We went to the park. We said let's do recall training, but that turned out to be a bit of a pointless thing because there was this little Jack Russell. It was a rescue dog, and he had a ball. Well, she just hijacked the ball and ran around with him. The two little boys are so happy. That's the same with Wolf. He's just because Wolf is now 7 kilos. He's really big. She's
Wow.
like 5, and he's younger than her. So she can't fight him, so she just runs around really fast around him.
She's just like, catch me, catch me, catch me.
Basically, when she used to have a little jumper, he would catch the jumper, but now she doesn't have a jumper, so he's gonna have to catch. Oh, such a roundup.
Bless you. Well, it sounds like you're making some massive, massive steps. And where else? What other areas have you like seen your progress in as well? How else you've been getting on?
You left her on her own when I was at that.
Yeah, the other
funeral.
day when we was out and the doorbell rang and somebody came to deliver, but I had to go to the front door, so she was in here. I thought, well, she won't be this. Or, a while back she would have cried when you go out, but now I just left the flat, closed the door behind me, went downstairs, talked to the man, took the package, came back up, And yeah, she was there. I think she was sitting in the corridor, but quiet. She wasn't crying or anything. She was quite happy for me, thinking, well, he'll be back at some point.
Fantastic.
Similar outside, isn't it? When
Yeah.
we go into a shop or that's better too.
Yeah.
Good. That's really good to hear. So, because before she was squeaking, wasn't she, when one of you left her and went into a shop?
Screaming. The only time she screams when she sees her friends and she's not allowed to go see him at all. That is just like the scream of death.
I know, and it's so embarrassing. It's like, dog abuse, and
Yeah.
people must think that, I don't know, we're doing something terrible to this dog.
When they meet on the pavement, when they first see each other, they just go crazy. So we rather sort of walked into the park. So I said to Wolfie's mum, let's pick them up. We'll get there quickly. So I was holding her. She was screaming for the dear life of the girl.
This woman's trying to steal me.
But otherwise, she's all right. Yeah, she's got her special friends.
Good stuff. And how's the? I knew last time we had a little play with the tower and the treats. How's that going?
We haven't played that much actually from that time because I had a bit of a hard week this with the funeral and everything, but we haven't played that much
okay.
with the towers.
Okay.
Game. I let her in the park with the lead attached to the harness, and I walked away and I said, "Come here, sniff, 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 sniff." All right, then I'll come. So we haven't done that much of it because mainly there's only one park where we really let her run free, and it was so muddy and yeah, it was not the place to be because she was sinking into the mud.
Okay.
So we need to do that bit more. Now she's biting Kush's toes.
Gently, but yeah.
Like, I'm here.
To get your attention.
That's
Yeah.
all
She's
right.
like, Dad, I'm here.
All the food, that's also quite funny. You want to come up here?
So, okay, so is there anything, so it is our last session, but is there anything that that we haven't covered that you wanted to cover, that you were expecting to cover, or that you haven't kind of figured out that needs a bit more work on? Is there anything specific that you want to cover today? I think it's probably a better question.
I don't know, maybe, or what I think is we train the tower and she sits there and she's very alert and staring at us. And I think you mentioned it last time, it's quite difficult to make her lie down. Do you have any tricks of, I tried last night to lure her underneath my knee, very close to the ground, and then she sort of tried to squeeze underneath. I was sort of halfway lying down, and then I gave her a treat. But I don't know, is there a better way? Because people say for bigger dogs, they sit and then you lower your hand to the ground, but when she sits,
she just puts her head down, picks the treat up.
They need to lie down.
Yeah, because their legs are this long.
When you were trying to eat your food, she would sort of put the front end in and the back bum was still standing up.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we can do down. That's not a problem. We can do that one. So with down, she'll probably really enjoy it, and it's just about getting the timing right. So there is the two ways that you can teach them. I tend to go with the under the legs one to start with, but obviously I can show you how to do that and get her into that down position. And what we do is we don't use the word down until she's in that position. So we just use the marking word. So yes, good, nice. So as soon as she goes under your leg, good, and gets a treat. Okay. So what? Who wants to have a practice at that first?
You've got longer legs.
You've got longer legs. Okay. So whoever's going to go first. So Kushad, if it's you, then what you're going to do? You're going to sit on the floor, and you're going to have both of your legs bent up. Okay. So as high as you can get them, and all that you're going to do with Noodle is just guide her through. Tiny little treat in your hand. Guide her through nice and slowly from one side to the other. Little Noodle. As soon as she comes out, as soon as her nose pokes out the side of your legs, then just literally say yes and give her a treat, or good. It's good that you guys use, isn't it? Is it good? Do you guys use good?
Yeah.
So as soon as her nose comes out the other side, good, and then reward her. So you're not looking for her to be in the down position. She's literally just going to be going underneath your legs, and then we'll get you to reduce your legs down. So we're not looking to squash her. We're literally just getting her to go under your legs to start with. So she realizes that it's a good game.
Considering the
She's
liver.
like, everything's a good game at the minute.
Yeah, she's just jumping at the liver. Right, let's go down.
If you play your cards right.
Let me turn out the laptop once you.
Yeah.
Right, hang on. Let me put it on a bar. How long do you think it's gonna last if I'm plugged?
Hours.
Hours. All right.
Hours. Famous last words, huh?
Famous last word. Right, where are we seeing? Like that?
That's good for me.
Yeah?
That should be good for me, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so go with both legs up to start with.
If you don't see, tell me, Katie, I will move the laptop.
No, it's fine though. So nice and slowly with your hand that you've got the treat in. So underneath your leg, nice and slowly. As soon as the nose comes out, yes, and reward.
Oh, you want to go for that side? That's fine.
I go from there and I go to the street.
Come.
Super smart sausage.
Good.
Yeah, she was smart as a
Now we can
little
do the
pup
other one.
when she was doing fake wheeze to the
Good.
chicken.
Okay, so with your hand, just make sure that your hand is almost alongside your leg. So as she goes under your leg here, your hand wants to be really nice and close to your leg this side, whichever way she's going, whichever way her nose comes out. As soon as her nose comes out.
Good. No.
So no treat because she didn't come through. And then keep going.
No.
It's okay if she goes backwards, that's fine. So as soon as that nose pokes out from the side of your leg, good, reward. So just keep your legs just a tiny little bit higher at the moment. So your hand's going to need to be a little bit lower. So your hand's currently at your knee, isn't it? So just bring your hand down a little bit more. So hand down, that's it, now rewarder.
I'm the way she's going backwards as I came from there. I got the treat.
Good.
Okay, and then when she comes out from under your legs, just lower your legs down a little bit.
Good.
It's a good game, isn't
It's a good game, isn't it? Easy.
It's a good workout for your abs as well.
Good.
Yeah.
And see what happened there? So she went a little bit lower to actually get out. So that's fine. So you can carry on doing this.
I want to put the carpet in there. You know that famous bottom doesn't touch the ground.
Princess Bum.
So, yeah.
Very
Okay.
fun.
Is she in a down position there? Look. Say
yeah.
down. So when she's in the position, say down and reward her. Okay, so let her go under your legs again.
No.
So you're going to get rid of the good and you're just going to say down.
Down.
Reward. Make sure she's in, look how long she is. Make sure she's in that position when you're saying down to her. So she makes the connection of that action. So when she comes through, down, reward.
It's kind of half down, isn't it? The back is down and the top place.
It was that first time she was all the way down though.
Yeah, the first time she was.
Here she comes.
Down.
That's like a flat. She's like completely flat there. Her legs are splayed out as well there.
He likes to lie like that very much.
Down.
So with your hand again, Kushad, so if you just have your hand a little bit closer to your leg.
Yep.
So as she comes out, so just hold that treat until she actually goes into the position that you want, so the down position. Hold the treat. Slightly move it. Oh, here we go, down, reward.
Good.
And then just keep practicing that again for a couple of times, just make sure she's actually understanding. So we're not looking to squash her, we're looking for her to do it by herself. Down, reward.
Should we try the other side?
Oh, I like this one.
Be mindful that she may be right or left-handed brain side, so she may not get it on the other way around as well. She has, there we go. I don't know why I even bothered saying that. We knew she was going to do that. Okay, so nice and slowly, if you can, then sit up. Come on, Noodle.
Noodle.
on a belly rub.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you could do there is you could say no treat this time.
Down.
Good girl.
Okay, so if you can, just sit on one leg, so she's just going underneath one leg. And same principle again.
Down.
Okay, so just do that a few more times, just until she's really consistently doing that.
Come on here. Come on here.
She's like, I'm laying in this down position. I'm getting loads of treats in this down position. Wait for her.
No, you're sitting here because there's more space to sit.
Come here. Come on. Come
Let's try this to the other side.
on.
Well,
Got an itch.
down.
There we go. Really nice. And think about the hand signal that you've got on the other side. I can't see your hand from here. So whatever your hand signal is on the other side, that's going to remain your hand signal. She's still down. So you could say down and reward her again.
Down.
So whatever your hand is doing, that hand that's giving her a treat, is that on the floor? Is it just up slightly above the floor? And what is your hand actually doing? Is it just a closed hand?
Sort of on the floor like that. Close or
Like that. However you're delivering that treat, then use that for your hand gesture, because she can see your hand coming through there.
down.
So remember to wait till she's in the position. So her bum's down, but front end's not this time.
She's very agile.
Move on.
That's the one.
Down.
And it's just about that nice slow motion as well. So try not to rush her and not letting her get too excited about it as well. Okay, I think Noodle would be able to do this without legs. I'm quite confident in her. There's a complete flop on the floor there.
Probably thinking this is the best thing ever. I'm getting belly rub position and I get treats.
Favorite position, favorite treats. Okay, so nice and slowly. So from her sitting, if you can get her to sniff the treat, so she knows you've got the treat in your hand, and then just slowly move your hand away from her, keeping your hand as close to the floor. She may just walk towards it. Thought she might. So from underneath her chin, so from underneath her nose. Okay, so just ask her for her sit.
Sit.
She's sitting. And then between her front feet, you're going to put that treat. And then just hold it until she gets into that down position. So she's going. Really?
I'll do anything possible not to do it.
Little sit.
So between her front feet, she might have to move backwards. She said, I'll come back for that treat in that hand. So maybe just go back to doing the leg for a second.
Yeah.
To help her understand what it is that you're trying to get her to do.
Oh. Down.
Okay, so while she's in that position, say down and reward, and then just move your legs.
Down. Down.
So we want her to do the action before we get her into that position, before we add the cue word. So the cue word is down, so just wait for her to get into that position. We can still mark her. So if she moves like she's going to move her legs forward, as if she's going to get into a down position, then we could just say good, so that she's got an idea of what we're trying to get her to do. So her bum's kind of, you know, she's not looking like she's going to go anywhere. So you could say good, but then don't reward. So just say good.
Good. Oh.
So
What the heck is playing?
I think she's getting frustrated, isn't she? So
Yeah.
with the treat, go back between her feet and then just really, really slowly pull the treat towards you. Okay, so treat between her feet from a sit,
Yeah.
and then really slowly pull that treat towards you.
I'll take the ones from my other hand because
She's concentrating on that one.
with the one hand if you got them in the other. Noodles sit. Good.
That's nice. She's getting there. She's moving because I can see that her body's actually moving, and we're just breaking it down into really small steps for her. Here she goes.
Good. Good. Oh.
She's looking at me like,
Go back underneath your leg again. Go back underneath your leg. Try not to squash her. Have your legs low to start. Down and reward.
Down. Good. Down.
Okay, so now nice and slowly while she's in that position. So, oh, she's moved.
there's nothing here.
There is. She knows there is.
She's getting there with that one. And quite often, because it's something new to her as well, because we're trying to put it onto a cue. So it's okay that she's not doing it when you're asking, when you're trying with the other technique as well. So we're giving you two techniques here. Down. That's a lovely down. That's a really nice one.
Down.
And then with her in that position, just have the treat in your hand so that she can just nibble it and then move your legs slowly away from her and say down again.
Down. Down.
And we know she can do it because she's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
And she sat back up now. Down and reward. So your hand signal is this closed hand and then opening. So down is the back of your hand onto the floor.
Down.
She's like, I'll stay here all day.
Yeah, she likes it. Good stuff.
Okay.
We try it. Down. Down.
So it might be a little bit too much because we've changed hands and she's changed position completely as well. So try on the set with the same hand in the same place.
Down. Down.
Let her just figure out what she needs to do. She's going to woof at you.
She's gonna move here. She's looking at me like, tell him to give it to me.
She's like, what do you want me to do?
Down. Oh.
Yes.
Down.
She was close then.
She's looking at me again.
Yeah.
Come on, give it to me.
I think that was you're boring me.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, one more under your leg so that she's in the down position, she gets the down, and then everybody's finished on a positive for her.
Noodle. Noodle.
She's looking at the carpet and anything like.
Down.
Really nice.
Good.
Okay, so obviously you're not going to be using your legs every single time. Your legs will move eventually, but I think she just needs a little bit more practice.
Yeah,
But
get
she,
the idea now of how we can do it.
yeah. So you've got the two options there. So the first one, obviously, she's doing, because she, yeah, is the easiest way that we can get them into the down position. It's how I teach every puppy. And the ones that struggle with that, then we use the other technique where you have your treat in between their feet and then slowly move it forwards. And because she's a little bit older, she can obviously just put her nose to the floor and get it. But that one just takes a little bit, it's a little bit more technical in terms of you have to be moving it really slowly until they're in that down position.
She's enjoying that one.
Yeah, she's enjoying that position now, look. She's like, yeah, I know what to do now.
Good.
Okay, happy with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, any other things that you wanted to cover that we haven't?
Well, with the recall kind of thing, she would sit there in the corridor. If I try to call her, she'd come sometimes, but not always. And I think we should probably practice a bit more inside than we go outside. Or when we are outside, if she's attached too longly, do you give her a little tag, or do you just call her, or what's the best way of doing it?
Okay, did we cover recall last time?
No, we said we're gonna do it this time.
Yeah, I thought we did. I was thinking, I know you mentioned it a couple of times. I was thinking, did we go over recall last time? Okay, so in terms of, do you give her a little tug on the lead? No. So when she's on a long line, that really is for your peace of mind. So she's a bit more safe in terms of she's actually attached to something if she gets spooked by anything else. Okay, so harness always clipped on first, and then unclip her main lead. And then that ensures that she's always clipped onto one or the other. And in terms of inside to outside, so if she is consistent in the house, so if you went into the kitchen and called her, would she come to you? Or it's just be a noodle?
If something more interesting is going on.
Sometimes she follows me everywhere. But we often play in the evening, and we would throw her the toys running down to the corridor, and then she would sit there like.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'll tell you what I'll do. Give me 1 second. I'll budge my screen over and I'll show you on the big screen. Okay, so a little bit of safety. I'm just going to share my screen over so you can see. There we go. Can you see that? Is there a big blue triangle on your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so safety around recall training, having harness clipped onto the long line, also having the normal lead as well. It won't clip the normal, clip on before you clip off. No grabbing. So when she comes back to you, don't grab hold of her. It might be that at the end of the recall, you use a hand touch. So remember the nose?
Nose, yeah.
Yep. And no chasing. So if we chase her, it becomes an absolutely fantastic game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I would never catch her. She's so fast.
There's no point in that. You never make it.
What you can do though, if you're really confident about it, is you can run the opposite direction. And then she'll be like, where are you going?
Yeah, she would probably chase me if I start running. That's kind of a game.
Yeah.
With Wolfie, I say sausage, and then she runs after me with Wolfie in tow.
Okay, good stuff. So have you got a recall cue that you're using for her? Have you got like noodle here, noodle come, sausages?
Come here.
Come here. Okay,
Yeah.
do you say her name first?
Sometimes.
Okay, so that's good. That's a good recall. So what we'll do is, to start with, we may as well do these ones because these are already written on here. So it says 10 treats. We're not going to do 10 treats. We'll do 5 treats to start with. So literally, you'll say your cue word. So say your cue word from a few feet away. So if you can get her to sit from like near where the laptop is here, and go to where the doorway is, and call her to you. When she gets to you, then ask her for a hand, so the nose. So put your hand down so that she understands it, nose, and the order. Okay, so it's literally a really nice short recall, just to remind her what it is that you want her to do.
Look, I'm here. Nose. Good.
And the reason we want to do the nose is because it will get her closer to you rather than just calling her to you and her coming to you and then running straight past you. So you
Now she's thinking, who's going to give me the treat?
okay, so you can do the same from sitting there, Kushad, as well. So get her to come to you, do the hand, the nose touch,
Come here. Nose.
reward, and then call her back to you.
Come here. Nose. Good. Good girl.
Come here. Nose. Good.
Come here. Nose. Good girl. Good girl.
Okay, good stuff. One more to you, Kushad.
Come here. Nose. Nose.
Sometimes she's like, oh, half-hearted nose.
Yeah,
Good stuff. When Noodle's out, I know that she has a harness. Does she have a collar as well?
Yeah.
She does. Can you just pop a collar on for me?
The collar normally's got her name on it, not that we normally attach the clip to it, but she doesn't have a collar.
Okay. So Kushad, this time what I want you to do is I want you to call her to you when she comes to you. So the reason is, Veronica, I'm not using you at the set because obviously she's sitting at your feet waiting for those treats. So we're just going to get her away from you and then we can call her back and do the same thing. So Kushad, when you call her to you, I want you to do the nose touch with her, but I want you to clip your fingers underneath her collar as well, out the front. So you've just got hold of her and then give her a treat. So your treat's going to have to be somewhere else other than in your hands. So one hand for the nose touch, then do the collar hold and then reward.
Come here. Nose. Nose. Then what?
And then Veronica, call her to you.
Noodle, come here. Nose. Nose. Good.
Yes, he's not so keen on being taken by the collar.
No.
Yeah, and the reason being, so the reason I'm getting you to do that is because if you're out and about, you're going to need to take hold of her collar at some point to clip her back on. Okay, so we're just getting her a bit more accustomed to that. So call her back to you. We'll do a couple more of those.
Yep. Nose. There you go. Good girl.
If you want to use the same hand as the nose touch to the collar hold, you can do. Oh. Oh.
Nose.
Oh.
Good girl.
And we want her nice and close to us as well. So this is why we're doing it this way.
Come here.
Nice.
Good. Good. Nose. Nose. She does not like the color. You don't want to be holding it. Oh.
Okay.
I had it stuck between my fingers. Clever.
Well, nose.
So she's getting a bit better with that already, isn't she?
Yeah.
Come here.
In your own time, Noodle.
Good. Good. Good girl.
And this way we're not grabbing her, we're literally nice. There's this nice smooth transition there. Or the other thing that you can do, remember when we did the middle? You could do that as a fancy recall if you wanted to. So you could call her to you and then just get her to come all the way around just with the hand signals.
Right.
Do you want to have a practice?
Come here. Nose. Nose.
Have the treat in your hand.
I wouldn't.
Guide her around with it.
Middle.
Here she
Middle.
comes.
Good girl.
And you could do that one instead as well.
Come here. Middle. Good girl.
Look at that. And then she's even closer to you to clip her on or clip her off. Yeah?
I managed to do middle a few times in her with the past, which I was like really tough.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is just about practice. So we've done a couple of different techniques that you can do there. So one is obviously the hand touch. one is the collar hold, one is both combined, and then the other one is the middle. What we're going to get you to do is I'm going to get Kushad to call Noodle and just literally have her with you for a sec. And Veronica, if you can go into the kitchen and call her from the kitchen, so that she can't see you, but she's going to have to come and find you. Okay. Have you got a table in your kitchen?
No.
Have you got anywhere that you can kind of not hide yourself too much, but so that you're not visible straight away?
Not really.
Have you got a door on your kitchen?
I do.
Just stand behind the door.
So we could all be closed.
Okay, yeah, there's a little space.
Yeah, so Noodle will be able to get in the kitchen, but you're just behind the door.
Especially if I go in a bedroom, it's more space. Yeah, I'll go to the bedroom because the kitchen is tiny.
Okay. Yeah, whichever works for you guys.
Come here. Middle. Good girl. Good girl.
Really nice.
She's ready. No, come here. Middle. Good girl.
Nice.
Oh.
Her cool little face. She walked into the bedroom and went, "Oh, where are you?"
And that's what we wanted. That's exactly what we wanted. So we wanted to put that little bit in her as if to say, I'm going to come and find you faster next time. Okay, so we're going to do that again and go and hide in the same place. And it's likely she will come straight in and go to that place that you're at. Okay.
Middle. Middle. Good girl. Good girl. Beautiful good girl. Yeah.
Get a little bottom.
Yeah.
She got me.
Enjoy that?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and I'm sure Noodle enjoyed coming to find you as well. Okay, so with all the training, keep it fun, keep it light-hearted. I'm sure you guys do anyway. When she came to find you in the bedroom, so that's what I would describe as a blind recall. So she can't see you. She's relying on her listening to you, and if she's not relying on the listening, she's relying on her scent to actually find you through sense of smell. Okay, so you can use things like umbrellas. So if you're out in the park and you have an umbrella with you, literally open the umbrella and one of you walk away and just put the umbrella down in front of you and then call her to you. And she'll be like, where did you go? There's an umbrella there, but there's no person. So like hide yourself behind the umbrella. Or you can play like hide and seek in the park if you've got like wood, like a bit of a wooded area.
Let's get on the umbrella.
Yeah. But now we can try and
in St. George's Gardens and behind
there's many gravestones and things to hide behind.
It's an old cemetery at Ten Park.
Or if you want to just use something like, like a litter bin. Like a litter bin, if you just crouch down behind it, and if she's off lead or on a long line, bop down behind the bin and then call her back to you, and she'll be like, where did you go? Where did you go? I can't see you. And it's always about keeping her on her toes, recall is, so that she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to come to you this time because I'm not quite sure you're going to be there or not. Okay, so there is another one that we're going to practice with you as well, which is called treat triangles. Now, it doesn't have to be a triangle. It can be a square. It can just be a straight line, but we have just done the straight line recall. So this one is it's a triangle. Now you can just pick 3 places either in the room that you're in, or you can use your corridor if you want to. And what you do is you drop a treat, at the first point of the triangle. So it might be that you use, say, Kushad's feet, it might be that you use the cushion opposite Kushad, and then it might be that you use the door frame. And what you do is drop the treat, wait, and then you move to the next point. As soon as Noodle looks up, then you call her to you. So you recall her to you at that point. And then you drop another treat, and then you move to the next point. When she looks up, you call her. So it's quite fast, because obviously she's going to be gobbling the treats, and you've got to get from one place to the other before she gets to you. Okay, happy with that? Try not to fall over. You can make it as big or as small as you want it.
Okay.
And if you need to throw the treat out a little bit further for her to be getting, that's fine as well. Don't forget to use your recall cue when she looks up. So drop a treat. Now you move.
And then call her.
And then call her to you.
Come here.
Drop the treat. Move to the next point.
Oh, I got this now.
Yeah, drop the treat.
Me to get to it, not the dog.
Here she comes, she's coming.
Come here. Oh, damn it. Gonna be the point of contention is underneath the cupboard.
So
She knows.
Now, where did you go?
I know, I dropped a treat the other day, it went underneath our skirting board.
oh, drama. Yeah.
I wondered what she was doing. She was scratching at the skirting. I was like, oh no, a treat's gone under the skirting. So I tried to get it out with a like a skewer. And yeah, I just ended up pushing it under the floorboard in the end. Okay, Kushad, you going?
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Nice.
Come here. Come here.
Nice. Really nice.
Come here.
Kushad's cheating.
Yes, it.
Come here. Come here. It's a good game.
It's a good game. It is a good game. Enjoy that?
We should play this more often.
It's a good game to play, and it's a good one that you can play outside as well. So you don't have to have like physical. I know that I've given you kind of physical things to point at to actually focus on that triangle, but that is just for the purposes of practicing. So if you were outside in a grassed area in the in the park, you could just literally run from one place to another to another to another. You don't have to have the fixed points. And you could use, if you wanted to add distractions into the house, you could have tins of beans, or they don't have to be beans, tins of whatever, or bottles, or things that she's not necessarily going to be like used to, so they're going to act as distractions. Okay, happy with the recall?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so other things that I really like what you were doing, Veronica, with your crouching down. So crouching down makes us look a lot smaller, so they don't have that concept of you're still the same space away from her. She'll think that you're further away because you're smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, when I do this, she used to go normally climb underneath my legs and then look me up, come on, give me something.
which is fine. That's fine as well. The middle, that looks really good. So that again, that's just a practice when you're out and about, when she's on a long line, practice these techniques as well. So remembering that her harness and her long line are going to be oh, that's better. I can see you both now.
Yeah. I better bring it here.
So when she's on her harness and when she's on a long line, they're going to act as distractions to her as well. So it's always a good practice to have the harness and the long line on in the house as well. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason I haven't added it straight away today is because it may be just a little bit too much for her, and we want her to understand what just coming from one to the other means to start with. Then we can add the harness, add the long line, add the lead on a collar, whichever way around you want to do that, and then have her recalling in the house to start with. And then when you get really fancy about it, you can start standing outside your door and recall her from in your apartment to the corridor, and then call her back in. So she's having a different environment as she's going out and then coming back in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Good stuff. Any
yeah.
questions on recall?
I think we just need to practice. I think it makes a lot more sense now, with especially if it's sort of one place to another. She thinks it's a great game, and it will probably think a little bit more. Oh yeah, you're saying come here. Okay, I'll have to come then.
Yeah, and what we have to remember is that if she's on a long line, so there's a really good hack that you can do as well. So do you know how long her line is?
5 meters.
I think it's 5 meters. So.
Okay, so if you put a little knot at each meter, then when she's running away from you, if she gets to like 3 meters away from you, then you can call her back. Okay, and if she's still listening to you and if she's consistently doing that, you know that she is able to run back to you from 3 meters. Okay, and then you can start giving her 4 meters, so she has a little bit extra, and you can still keep bringing her back. Now, the reasons that our dogs don't want to come back is because often they are doing something that they're really enjoying. So think of the Wolfie situation. So she's with, put my teeth in, she's with Wolfie and she's really enjoying herself and she's having a great time. And then you say, Noodle, come here. And then you clip her on a lead and then you go and you leave the park. So the next time that you're at the park with Wolfie and you say, Noodle, come here, she's like, oh, I'm just going to have a few minutes playing because the last time you did this, you stopped my fun. So it's always worth just calling her back to you, even when you don't want to leave. So you're practicing letting her go out, recalling her back, letting her go again, recalling her back, letting her go again, recall her back, and make it very unpredictable when she's actually going to get clipped on. So the more unpredictable you are with it, the more chance you've got of her coming back to you. And because she's a dachshund, I would always look to have 90% recall. Okay.
Yeah.
Not 100%. So 9 out of 10 times that she'll come back.
Wanders off, see a pigeon and
Yeah, and you can, and what you can practice.
scent.
If she gets the scent of something, then nothing exists in the world anymore. I mean, we've tried any. I got like one of those squeaky toys which she really likes, which I have in my pocket as sort of emergency brake to get her attention. And again, that works many times, but there are situations that I can squeak as much as I like. Right? She is not interested. Whatever she is smelling is far more interesting than me and my squeaky toy.
Okay. So maybe have that squeaky toy in the house to start with as well. So that squeaky toy is the only thing that comes out. Now, obviously, when they're picking scent up, she may give you some indication that she's found something that she likes the smell of. So it might be that her tail goes right up or her ears go back or whatever it is that she's doing. But her body will well, obviously her nose is going to be potentially on the floor, but it might be that she sniffs and then comes back up again. And recalling her at that point to get her to come back to you. And then what you can do is you can put her sniffing onto a cue. Okay. So then you can say, go sniff, and then you're letting her go to sniff. So then you can keep practicing, go sniff or go find, whatever it is that you want to use. And then it will become easier because you're then saying to her, go sniff when you want her to do that, rather than when she's just choosing to do it. But ultimately, she is a hound. She is going to enjoy having a nose on the floor and sniffing, especially where, foxes, I think it is that you guys have got a lot of, isn't it? Yeah. And they're like their nemesis.
Yeah, you can't resist it. The smell of a fox is
Yeah, and neither can my dog. My dog can't help herself but roll in fox poo when she finds it. She just too much. It's just too tempting.
It's so funny, their defense. Wolfie doesn't sniff at all. He's not bothered. He's very food orientated. He would eat anything and everything. So if she's with him, I know if I call Wolfie, she will come with him because he wants these treats. So if they're together, that's probably the safest recall ever because she would follow him and he would follow my treats.
Yeah.
But on her own and having a sniff those, that's it. You lose her sometimes.
And sometimes it is about like what works. So sometimes it may be that Noodle come here doesn't work, but sausages does. Sausages and running the opposite direction works for her. So go with what works for her. And don't be afraid to actually run the opposite direction as well.
She actually loves to run with me because I don't let her so much of the lead, but when she wants to run, I run with her.
Yeah.
She's pretty fast, so and she's got this habit stop and stop in front of my feet, so I have to keep watching so I don't step on her. So it's quite funny.
She sounds like Chip. That's exactly what we do. So we'll like sometimes we'll go running, and like obviously we don't go running all the time, but when we'll walk and then we'll run a little bit, and she'll do exactly the same. But sometimes she just stops as well behind me, and you end up like trying not to pull their head off as you're like trying to stop, but they've already stopped.
Too much liver, Lulu. You high on liver.
You will.
Calm down.
Okay.
Calm
So,
down.
for the last sort of 10 minutes, is there any questions that you have unanswered that you want me to answer?
I was going to ask you something when I meant to email you about. You know, on your Instagram, you've got a lovely bag that you carried Chip in when you went on walking holidays. Like a black thing.
Is it the black one that goes over?
Yeah. Where did you get it from?
It's just off Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just called he's not a branded one or anything. It's just literally let me have a look. I don't know if I actually bought that one.
Because we like to hike and we're sort of thinking, how far can we hike with her? At the moment, she's not fully grown yet. I mean, she
Yeah.
seems to enjoy it, isn't it? And we find various bags, but they're kind of okay. But
we used to, when she was small, also one which was across like a sling, which was nice, and she loved it in there. You know, we took her in that when it was too far to walk. But she has sort of outgrown that one. So we could maybe if there is a bigger one of a similar thing.
How much does she weigh?
5.5 kilos.
Yeah, so she's not much bigger than Chip. So Chip's 4.5 kilos. So she's only a little bit bigger. Let me just have a look at my
bigger than someone.
Yeah.
That's not often.
That's not often.
No, it's not on there. Let me have a look. I think it was just called Dog Sling. Dog Sling Carrier. Yeah, Dog Sling Carrier. They're just on there. There's loads of them.
Okay.
Just type in Dog Sling Carrier and there's loads of different ones. I think ours was about £10. I think the price has probably gone up a little bit. I think it's this one here. I think it's this one.
It looks very much like what we have, isn't it? Similar. Let's have a look at that one. All right.
But there is quite a lot on there. Yeah, I'm quite sure that is the one.
Yeah. So we got a few other things like front carrying backpacks.
Okay.
Your head out, and then I've got another one which we recently bought, which is not like a backpack. It's more open, so it's like a sort of shopping bag, or where you put your shopping and nothing around her head. You can just sit in it, and it fits quite nicely in front, and there's a thing to tie it around your waist. And we tried it out, and she actually sits quite happily in that, especially if she's up front. It's like carrying her in your arms, but then you don't bear the weight on your shoulders.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like walking wise, just remind me how old she is. How old is she now?
9 months.
9.5 months. Okay, so she should be able to do quite a decent amount of walk, but it is about building them up. So as soon as they're kind of about 12 months, they're kind of quite robust in terms of they can pretty much walk as much as you want them to walk. And they obviously you're taxi owners, you know that they don't give up on things anyway, unless it's their choice. But with walking, it is a kind of it's the same as us. Like if we went to, I don't know, if we were going on a walking marathon, then we'd need to practice to get to that goal. So if you're looking to go on like a 4-hour walk, then just build up nice and slowly. So just do like an hour at a time and then build up. But sometimes, I mean, even Chip now, I mean, she's 4. Sometimes she has a little carry. And sometimes she'll be, she'll be carried if we go away. And that particular photo, I think that you're talking about, is when we went to the Isle of Wight, and we did quite a decent. We had a whole day walking, like around the coastal paths and things. And some of it just wasn't safe because I needed to be able to kind of climb around the rocks, but I couldn't do that with Chip because she wouldn't have been able to get from one rock to the next. So we just used that, just popped her in and then climbed over, and then she got back out again. But then and then she just sat in it when we got to the restaurant at the end.
Yeah, she used to use her sling as a bed when we were in restaurants as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we had the train journey. We went away on the last summer when we were briefly allowed to go somewhere. I think we went on the train, and then that was on the table. It was like her bed, and she was sitting in the back watching the outside go by. She loved it.
Yeah. And yeah, it's the same principle. It's the same principle as the mat as well. So it's that thing of having somewhere for them to settle down when they don't need to be either alert to what's going off or to actually be doing anything other than settling.
Oh, the other questions I had, I was sort of briefly sending up once on an email if she could possibly be a therapy dog or something like that because she enjoys people so much. Maybe not just yet, but when she's sort of a year old, would you need to do some special training for that sort of thing, or is it more on a dog's character?
So I think most of the companies have different sorts of criteria. So I mean, like I said, I replied back on the email with about Jimmy Triplata, didn't I? Because he's a local one to me, and he's like a therapy dog that goes in for the students. So there's a difference between a therapy dog and a service dog. So obviously a service dog is kind of higher skilled, if you like.
I don't know as a guide dog. I don't think that would.
Should take you to the foxes. But in terms of therapy dogs, really it's about just I'd reach out to the companies. So I can't remember what the name of the company is. There's a really big company. They have like yellow bandanas for their dogs, and they basically give you or tell you exactly what training it is that you need. Some of them do provide it.
I certainly think we work for a travel company, and I think it was last year, 2 years ago, we had a stand on a business travel show, and to attract some footfall, we had therapy dogs there, so that the people who were visiting the exhibition could come to us and have a cuddle with the dog, as in instead of watching video demos and talking to salespeople and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that the guy, Josh, our marketing guy, still has contact of their company.
Yeah, absolutely.
Touch with them.
Yeah, and just have a chat with them. So most of them all like kind of set you up, and also they'll be able to give you like details of where's good to kind of start out as well. Because I'll be honest, it's not something that I train dogs for. Although obviously I just look for dogs to be calm, whereas Noodle's relatively calm anyway. She's quite a placid. Well, I mean, currently.
Right now, she's eating my ponytail, but.
She's quite cute, that is true, but she could be like the biggest monster when she decided to be.
But she's quite keen. There's lots of students where we live, we live in near London University, so, and they love her. And did we tell that we had a student living above us who played with noodles? And she enjoys the attention, not from small kids, but from sort of younger people.
It's her target audience.
It's her target audience. And she is very good
She's
at
getting for them.
I know, she knows who to approach and who's going to be nice to her.
Yeah, and I think
cute.
That's the ones to go for.
Yeah, they're going to give you loads of love, and they're going to give you loads of fuss and potentially a treat as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd certainly have a look into it. Like I say, there are definitely dachshunds that do therapy work. I know that we've got a couple of teachers that I've worked with that have their dogs actually in the classrooms with them. So obviously not currently, but their dogs go to work with them. She's having a field day with your hair.
Yeah, it's the hairband which she's trying to pull.
Oh yeah, she's trying to get you banned. But yeah, I think give it a go. I think that you've got nothing to lose by doing that. They may want, they might want like Kennel Club citizen certificates, but in all honesty, the stuff that we've done, you'll be surprised how far you'll be able to get with that. I mean, Kennel Club standards, Kennel Club, you're just literally paying for the name Kennel Club. Most of the work that I do is pretty much, well, it's either very similar or it's a little bit more in depth than what you may get. So they might be asking you for her to sit for 30 seconds, then calling her to you, or sit for a minute, sit for 2 minutes on cue. So it's just building up. It's just literally building up from where you are. And ultimately, she's still a puppy at the moment, so you've got plenty of time to build her up. But she's got a lot of skills that she will be able to. I'm sure she would get through with flying colours. I'm quite sure she would.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is our last session.
Our last session.
I know, I feel a bit sad when I see your guys' names in the diary. I'm like, oh yes, I can't wait, because I know you guys are like really cheery and really, really always just like you've done your homework. You've always got something positive to say. She's going for that. Careful, she's going to snap that in a second. I can see it's going to go.
Oh, I think she's already managed to. Yeah, she managed to twist.
She's like snapped it or done something with it.
It's like a plastic bone, and she sits on the sofa, and she always drops it. So I thought I'll tie a little string to the bone. She chewed the string in 2 seconds. Because then I have to have the recliner up, and then I have to go down and get the bone, because she likes to play fetch, but not the usual way. She sits on the sofa, she drops it, and she wants it to be thrown back at
The other one's who fetching things. All right.
She invents new games all the time.
She's made her own games up.
Yeah, she's quite good at that one.
Bless her. Well, okie dokes. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you, and I hope that you've enjoyed the sessions that we've had together.
Brilliant, absolutely
Brilliant.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you've enjoyed them. I've certainly enjoyed them as well, and it's been great watching Little Noodle's progress as well throughout there, because it's been quite a while that we've worked together, but it's been nice to actually have you progressing and seeing that progress as well, and considering that it's online, and I know that you were a bit skeptical about it to start with, but hopefully you.
No, I think it's great. You know, I'm completely sort of opposite now. I think it's so good to do it in your own environment rather than, and we had lots of other dogs as distraction and things like that. No, I think it's brilliant. And I definitely will do a review, you know, because I think it's good if people hear from somebody who's just done it, and I think it's really brilliant.
Good. I'm pleased. I'm really, really pleased that you've enjoyed it, and I'm pleased that Noodle's got some new skills out of it, and you've got some new skills to do with her as well. But no, it's been a pleasure working with you. And if you guys want any more sessions, or if you're struggling, then give me a shout, or if you need anything, then give me a shout. I'm never too far away. Obviously group as well, so
yeah.
Your posts will always get approved.
We'll see if we think that we need someone. We might get some more sessions. It's just so enjoyable as well for Noodle.
Yeah.
I think she gets so excited. Today she's quite alive. Normally she gets bored and goes to sleep.
I'm sure she'll. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that you can do with her to kind of. She's going back to your hair now. She's like, is there a bubble in there? It's still there. She knows it's there. That's why.
Yeah.
Okie dokes. Right. Well, I'll let you guys go before Kushad gets his ponytail chewed off. But take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves, and give me a shout if you need anything.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you
No
very much.
worries. You take care.
Bye.
Speak soon. Bye.